Hello, this is KT0 bringing you yet another I3 commentary, and this time we will be on Infinite IO, and it is a Empire versus Allies matchup, and the Allies player, who is in the color of yellow, goes by the name of Prendix. So instead of "this is your Pendix," you say "this is your Prendix." Well, this is not as frightening, but whatever. And on the left side we have our Empire player, who is in the color blue. His name is Jok3R, and it looks like that he's going to open with 2 refinery. Actually, 2 dojos into 2 refinery. Actually, it's 3 refinery build, so it's an extremely economical opening from our Empire player right there. And on the other hand, our Allies player has opened with a lot of infantry. It looks like that he's looking to put up some form of early pressure right there, or otherwise there is really no reason for him to be producing infantry at this rate, unless he really wants to deny the scouting from the burst drone there. So he has produced 2 javelin launchers, just going about the place and try to find burst drones to shoot down with the rockets. And we see both of these players have occupied the orders at the center area of the map. Talking about the center area, it's very crucial to take in any matchup, so it would be nice to see the transition. Oh my god. Our Allies player is going for a seaport, so it looks like that he is going to be building some naval forces looking to harass his opponent. Does he know about this 3rd refinery from our Empire player here? He does not, but he has to assume that the Empire player has opened with a very economical opening, and therefore has expanded into the water, and the follow-up for the Empire player would be a mega bay right in the center area there. It's a very aggressive mega bay, looking to produce area to reinforce very quickly, so that you can apply a tremendous amount of pressure to your opponent. And going this fast seaport, our Allies player does not really have a 2nd refinery yet, which I assume he's working on it, and yes, he is working on that. So he better make damn sure that he does some form of damage with these infantries, or otherwise he'll be falling severely behind simply due to the fact that he doesn't have as much money and thus not having as much production as the Empire player does. And the Empire player currently is not utilizing his mega bay here, perhaps seeing that his opponent does have a reptile here, and it's just been taken out for... What has taken it out? Don't tell me. Oh, it's a burst drone. How cute. He used burst drone to self-destruct on the ACV to take it down, but here he comes. Here's the seaport rush from our Allies player. He has built a assault destroyer looking to move into the main base of the Empire player, take out all his economy right there. But keep in mind that he will have this up here, so it's quite a nice positioning to have. But if the Empire player is not careful, he can lose his entire main base to this one assault destroyer right there, since the buildings, the construction module for Empire player is such that you have to produce cores and deploy them, so you cannot erect up any form of static defense if your opponent goes to this kind of sea rush strategy and try to take out your entire base with very minimal units, in namely 1 unit, which is the assault destroyer. It's very mighty, I have to say. And just to make sure that he has a transition in case this fails, the Allies player has produced a air base, and he's looking for air dominance here, and he will have it. This one Apollo will make sure that the Empire player doesn't do anything goofy like moving the Tengu in for harassment before the Tengu goes to a very high number. And here he comes. The assault destroyer has walked right into the Empire player's main base uncontested, and he has destroyed one of the miners there, and is now effectively down to 2 refinery on 2 refinery. And we are going to see that the assault destroyer will go to work here, possibly wrecking a 2nd miner as well. That would save the economical advantage must say, swing the economical advantage to the Allies player's favor, and since that now the Empire player does need units to defend, he cannot safely take up to tier 2, which is the only means to deal with this assault destroyer there. You cannot hope to use Tengus to be against this assault destroyer. That's just silly. And we are going to see a bit of harassment from the Empire player, returning the favor here, but sooner or later he will have to deal with this assault destroyer here. But I think he will buy himself enough time to produce enough tank busters to bust up this assault destroyer here while he's harassing the Allies first main base, and indeed he has been doing so very effectively. One of his Tengus is actually in the red, but the Allies player doesn't really have anything to take it out with. Oh, a very smart move here. Move the Tengu very, very close to the miners here, so the miners, even though it was being repaired, cannot be salvaged in time. And we are going to see the tank busters is going to move. It's going to move in for the bust here. It's going to try to destroy this assault destroyer. Haha, what a tongue twister there. And we are going to see the assault destroyer retreating into the water. The infantry cannot swim with their heavy weapons, I assume. That is the only explanation I can have here. And tremendous micro from our Allies player there, dropping one bomb from the Vindicator at a time to kill off the infantry, maximizing the army value of his air force right there. And indeed we see that he's utilizing his map control, and the assault destroyer is still alive. It's still looking to wreck this third miner here, and this entire mining operation inside of the waterside expansion has been brought to a halt, and now it's effectively one refinery against 3. No, it's actually two refineries against 3 now that the Allies player has successfully expanded into the center area of the map, utilizing his map control very, very wisely there. But now that the economical situation is equalized, and I would say that the army composition from the Allies player is much better than that of the Empire player, since he does have air dominance right here. The Empire player actually doesn't have a single tank. Well, I just ate my word there. He has 4 Tengus, and indeed the 4 Tengus are going to shoot down the 2 Vindicators there. That will buy the Empire player precious time for him to transition out of this build in order to deal with the incoming harassment from the cryocopter there. And if the Empire player is not careful, he can lose the entire army just to a few cryocopters and the bombs from the Vindicators indeed. And we are seeing that the assault destroyer is still alive. It's still alive. It's still swinging back and forth in between the waterfront of the Empire player's main base and the Empire player's main structures there, and he's racking up miners left and right. And while the Empire players are not paying attention, the assault destroyer will move in and do a bit of harassment right there, and we are going to see 1 infantry, namely the Imperial Warrior, inside of a structure there, comfortably shooting away at this order here, but it would take him forever to take that down. Excuse me, using that assault rifle, which is only effective against infantry there. And we see that the second refinery, the mining operation at the second refinery of the Allies player has been resumed. Losing one of the miners previously was quite devastating there, but it was alright. He is going to resume the operation right there, and the assault destroyer tries to be queued and move in for a, don't know which miner queue is that, perhaps a 4th or 3rd indeed. And the 3 infantry tank busters in moving for interception is going to destroy the assault destroyer there. The assault destroyer finally gets destroyed. And we are seeing that the Tengu count of the Empire player is rather high. Perhaps he really doesn't want to give the air advantage to the Allies player there, since if the Allies player has air dominance and is at tier 2, your entire ground force will basically be wrecked by just cryocopters and Vindicators alone. And we are seeing that the the response for the heavy fortification of the center area here from the Allies player is going to be producing more tanks. That is the response of the Empire player, and we are not seeing much actions on the map, just a bit of harassment here and there. Wise use of the secret protocol there, cryo beam from satellite, and try to freeze up one of the ore connectors here, but the response time of the Empire player is phenomenal and is going to move the miners away. But now that the Tengus have inexplicably landed, the Vindicators just can go to work and destroy them one by one comfortably, and in response to that, the Empire player would use the point defense drone and try to protect the Tengu count of his in case they get destroyed, and so basically he's dead. If he doesn't have it entire, he is dead. That's how strong the air force for the Allies players is, and we are seeing the Allies player is putting up an aggressive barracks at the center of the map here, looking to put up a tremendous amount of pressure via infantry there, and we see the Tengus are focusing fire on the cryocopters here, only successfully brought down to about 80% of the health, and now he has two of his friends. This entire ground force is basically dead. There's really nothing the Empire player can do here. And he is going to destroy the multi-cannon turrets there, but the time he uses to destroy it is quite enough for the Allies player to erect up some form of response to that. And the VXs actually moved in and drove the air force of the Allies players away, but being that close to the air base, the Allies player has the home ground advantage. The Apollo fighters are basically dominant here. There's really nothing that the Empire player can do, and now the Vindicators can just go to work. Even though the cryocopters are gone, there will be not enough anti-air from the Empire player to deal with the air force of the Allies player there, but he has to be careful that his MCV doesn't get wrecked. That will be quite the heavy loss if he loses it, and indeed he is going to lose it. And now that the Empire player wants to make sure that the MCV is dead, has risen up his chopper VXs, basically just sacrificing them, since they do fly very slowly. They can be chased down by the Apollo fighter very, very easily there, and indeed that is what is happening. But now that the MCV of the Allies player has been wrecked, and I can see, well, he has sold his C4, so he doesn't really have any means of reproducing the MCV there, so he has to rely on Air Force to win, although every single advantage is at his favor here, including the economical advantage and the army composition advantage here. He does have enough air force at this point of time to take out the Empire player here. If he strikes at the right spots, he has to move back and forth, swing back and forth between this cliff face area here and try to take out the economy of the Empire player, and abusing the fact that the VXs are very slow on the ground. And well, he is not looking to do that, it seems. No, I just aim my word again. He is looking to move in his Vindicators to this direction in order to put up some form of harassment there, I would assume. With no means of producing new structures, the Empire player will eventually be able to overwhelm him, I would say. He cannot win. He cannot hope to win just purely by air force. Now that the Empire player is running on 4 refineries, no, it actually is only 3 refineries against 3 refineries from the Allies player there, and he is going to be able to continuously put out the production of the tanks and all his ground forces here from the Mega Bay. And I just don't know. If the Allies player can do it with just the Air Force. If he can, that would be quite a phenomenal victory there. And indeed, we are looking at some form of very smart and very phenomenal cryocopter play here, just